Hey all, Andrew Fantasia here, and welcome to another Marvel United deep dive here on Digital Charcuterie. And we've reached the final box. Oh boy. As always, please like, please subscribe, please bell, and please Amazon your way to Amazon. Oh boy, I just used Amazon as a verb. Where are we? What are we doing? But make your way to Amazon and pick up my fantasy novels, We Were Wizards, which you can find there right now. There they are. There's We Were Wizards, Seekers of the Stones, and Ghosts of Wizards Past. This is the first one, in case you want to know, but you can literally read them in either order. And these are my pride and joy. If you love fantasy and wizards and just epic stories with swords and magic and fun, which is important because a lot of fantasies are not fun. These are. Check these out. Help support an up-and-coming author. Get those on Amazon right now. There are ebooks, paperbacks, and hardcover as well. Okay, my friends, it is time. We have come to the final box in all of Marvel United. We've done it. Now, this is going to be a big, long video because we have to go over all the contents of the Multiverse Stretch Goal box and then compile every box together and get all the numbers down. So we're just going to cut right to the table and get started. Here we go. P.S. Stay tuned to the very end of this video because I've got a little surprise that I want to tease to all of you. Okay? Here we go. Here she is, Miss Multiverse. Wow, that is ginormous. I don't even know what to say here. I don't have a movie recommendation for this one because it's just all over the place. So if you want to watch a movie that's just all over the place, then watch Steven Spielberg's 1941 or something. I don't know. But here it is at last, the gigantic box to end all gigantic boxes. I think even Gloomhaven is smaller than this, but we can't waste time because there's so much in here. So I'm just going to quickly turn it around, without giving myself a hernia, thank you, and show you what the back looks like so you have a little bit of an idea of what's in store. Okay, time to stop holding it. But my gosh, the artwork on this, we've talked at length about how magnificent I find the art in Marvel United, hence why I keep all the boxes, and this is no exception. And whoever made the choice, whether it was Edouard Guiton or whoever made that choice to put Hobgoblin at the prominent spot there from the bottom of this guy's heart, thank you. That really makes me happy. So I physically have to move my whole body to get this up. So I'm going to possibly even enter frame here. Hello, if you can see me. And I'm going to slowly massage the box lid into an open position. It might take a while. Maybe put on a pot of coffee. I don't know. Here we go. It's coming. It's coming off. Okay. It's off. For the first time ever, one of our stretch goal boxes comes with a rules leaflet because there's just so much in here. And look who's in another prominent position here. So happy with that. Thank you. And here's your contents, everything you're going to find inside of this. There's a lot of stuff going on here. What I like is that this actually tells you, if I can zoom in here, tells you how many threat cards you get, but it tells you 6 for each villain, except some of these villains are going to have a little bit more or a little bit less. And I think that's really cool. It also does the same with the Master Plan cards. 12 for each villain, but High Evolutionary's only got 11 and US Agent doesn't have any. That is wonderful. I'm so glad they did that. And it's kind of funny that the other stretch goal boxes don't end up doing that because it would be nice to have that information. So don't be surprised if you see this become a thing in future United and other CMON stretch goal boxes, that you get a little list of what's inside. Specifically, they tell you what the team decks are going to be like. Specifically, they tell you about Null, because Null is a very complicated villain. They tell you about Dark Avengers and all the other extra little goodies that are in there and how they work. And there you go. All the stuff you could want right there. Underneath that is your oversized dashboard for the Wrecking Crew, who I have not, at the time of this recording at least, maybe by the time this episode's up, it'll be a different story, but I have not fought them yet at all. I don't know how the Wrecking Crew rolls. I'm really excited for them, so I've saved them as a surprise. I haven't watched any gameplay about them or anything like that. I just want to keep them under wraps for now because I'm excited to try them out. And then you have a bunch of punch boards here. You've got these sewer grates. They belong to the Lizard. These mysterious faces belong to the Chameleon. These water tokens belong to Chode. Those are your KOs and your stun tokens, which are normal. That's Betty Ross. She belongs to Red Hulk. That's a hunted token. I believe that belongs to Dakin. Or, sorry, I'm calling him Dakin because it rhymes with bacon. And that's the crowbar that goes with the Wrecking Crew. And I've punched some of these out, but I've put them back in. So they're a little bit loosey-goosey, but that's what the back looks like. Oh, no, there's Chameleon. He's hiding. All right, now I have to take out more stuff. I won't let the box defeat me. I won't. Oh. Well, I've had my workout for the year. It is a giant deep well filled with cards and my favorite thing, villain dashboards. Oh, yeah. Nothing like a chunky stack of villain dashboards. Look at that. And those are the small paper ones. These aren't even the cardboard ones. Look at that. Magnificent. You're getting a lot of villains in here. Why don't we just go ahead and show you the dashboards right now. Abomination is in here. There you go. There's a little look at Abomination. We'll look at the backs after. Absorbing Man. All right. Cabal. Haven't faced Cabal either. I haven't faced Absorbing Man, as a matter of fact. But Cabal is still a mystery to me. I don't know what to expect with this guy at all. All right. Chameleon was a lot of fun. Had a great time fighting Chameleon. Crimson Dynamo, same deal. Very cool. Crossbones, very difficult fight, but worth it. Really felt like you were going up against an assassin there. Dakin was pretty cool. Dark Avengers was a fun fight. It was cool having a bunch of purple figures swarming me around the board. Very difficult fight too. I did not beat them. I lost spectacularly. Darkchild, I can't remember if I fought Darkchild. I honestly don't remember. Enchantress, definitely not. I have not touched her yet. I have no idea what to look out for. All I remember is that she steals other people's henchmen. So that's going to be interesting. Claw, yes, I believe I fought the Claw. It was refreshing to see him, to get another Black Panther villain. Null, I fought twice, and I actually beat him twice. I was expecting to lose to him just completely destroyed, like how it is when I fight Vulture or Mr. Sinister, but no. I beat Null twice, and I don't know how I pulled it off. Maybe I did something wrong, but I think I did it right. I think Null is a pushover, but in a good way. The Lizard, who is very fun. It makes me so happy to see the Lizard, and he has to have the coat and the pants. He can't be naked Lizard. That's not my Lizard. Moonstone. Did we fight her? Yes, we did fight Moonstone. She was fun as well. I say we. I'm playing solo all the time. Purple Man. I don't think I fought the Purple Man. Yeah, I'm having trouble remembering now, but I don't think I fought him. I did fight the Red Hulk, and I got my butt handed to me on a silver platter. I'm clearly no Sam Wilson. Titania, yes, I think she was the first multiverse villain I ever fought. She was the first name that came up, and she was fun. She was very, very cool. US Agent, I finally got around to fighting. That was a great fight. Gives me hope for some future hero fights, maybe. Homebrew's gonna love what he does. White Widow, yes, I fought her on Valentine's Day. Hopefully you all watched that. If not, it's here on the channel. Check out the Valentine's Day fight. And after her is the Winter Guard, who I just finally went up against for the first time. They really destroyed me too. They were tough. I think I got like 3 turns in, and then they just demolished me. Just unlucky hands. All right, and then we'll swap it to the back here so you can see who has special setup, because they do. She doesn't. She's simple. He has special setup. Yes, so does she, because she's got the alternate challenge. He's got a little bit of special. He's simple. She's got a little bit of special stuff there. His is pretty tricky because you have to put down all those manhole covers. His is very complicated. It has a totally different rule set. So refer to the rule book when you fight Null. Have it nearby, because you're going to need to look at that over and over. He's easy peasy. She's got her own setup here, which I'll have to look into if I ever fight her. Same with her. They definitely have a lot going on there. You have to replace the 3 regular missions. He's got special too. I love seeing special setup because I love just knowing that it plays with the rules a lot. Nothing for Crossbones. Quite a bit for Crimson Dynamo. Chameleon's got those Find the Chameleon tokens. Cabal is very different. Looking forward to seeing what that's all about. He has the Titania challenge. And Abomination is fairly straightforward. Okay. There is a stack of villain dashboards that would actually even be quite a bit bigger, but I took out a lot of these villains from here and put them in other boxes, as you probably remember seeing way, way back in all the other deep dives we've done. Okay, let's be quick here now. We're going to start picking up the pace and just going through these in a bit more of an expedient way because we have a lot to get through. Let's start with the hero cards. Here they are. It's Agent Venom. Agent Venom is Flash Thompson, so he's fun, and he's got tendrils coming out of his back because he's an agent and Venom. It's like being two different things. Aurora. Hello, Aurora, my Canadian gal, my lovely Canadian gal from Alpha Flight. Slowly but surely, guys, we're putting that team together. And Canada's going through a lot right now, so to all my Canadian friends out there, all my homies in the true north, stay strong, take care of yourselves. Black Knight, he is fun. I used his Ebony Blade card for the first time ever, and I didn't realize what it entailed until I, already made that choice. And that was fun. Not knowing what the blade did made it fun when it came time to using it. So I would say go in blind like I do if you can help it, because that was a fun experience. All right. Chamber. Poor Chamber. This man must not have a fun time, like ever. Like, look at him. He's on fire all the time. And there's Chode. Good old Chode with his little kiwi bird or whatever that is on his shoulder. Oh, man. Chode's a fun time. The Starjammers are a welcome addition. And there's their captain. Captain Ben Stiller of the Dodgeball Squad. Wow. There's a lot of movement on that card. All right. Superb looking cards. You're also getting Cypher, who's got some of that Phalanx virus on him. Here he is, just ciphering away, doing his thing. Very nice. Dakin, learning to be a hero. I don't think I've used him as a hero yet. Only as a villain. He's got pheromone control. That's always fun. And then we have a Limbo card here, which belongs to Darkchild. So our third iteration of the Ilana Rasputin character. Got a lot of her now. Hopefully, no more. Hopefully, season 4 strays away from Ilana, because I think we're good. We're good for Ilana. Let me quickly show you the equipment cards. We are going with U.S. Agent's Shield, and we have armor for Iron Lad. We have Blades, Sword, Daredevil's Billy Club. There it is. I was looking for that Billy Club. I guess I kept all the promo equipments in here. There's her Psy for Elektra, the Hell Charger for Ghost Rider, Robbie Reyes. These are Trick Arrows for Hawkeye. He's got a bunch of them. The Soul Sword for Magic. There we go. Put it a little closer here for you. Mockingbird's Battle Staves. Nice. Crescent Darts for Moon Knight. Those are fun. And his suit. Can't wait to use these. Nick Fury. He's got his battle suit. I did not know that was equipment. I forgot this was in here. The Darkhold, Scarlet Witch's Darkhold. And we've got this again for Agatha. So that's fun. And speaking of which, I think it's interesting to note how, yes, they say you have to equip it to this character, like this is Scarlet Witch's equipment. However, I'm curious to know if anybody out there has experimented yet with the idea of, I don't know, giving this to Morbius and seeing what happens. If anybody's done that, let me know in the comments, because I want to know what ends up happening. Ebony Blade, which I really hope you don't spoil for yourself. Ebony Blade is great. There's Sam Wilson's shield. He's Captain America. There's the other Captain Britain. She's got her Starlight Sword. A Sonic Cannon for Cyborg Spider-Man. The Soul Sword for Darkchild. Mordred's Causeway. That belongs to Elsa Bloodstone. And the Hellfire Chain here belongs to Johnny Blaze. There's his Hell Cycle as well. I forgot how many of these were in here. The Patriot's Shield. And Stature's Suit. And the White Widow's Widow Bite. And who do these belong to? Oh, she also has Battle Batons. And Wiccan's Nega Wedding Ring. Even though it's in Hulkling's hand, it's Wiccan's item. Shang-Chi's Nunchucks. The Solar Gem for Vision. Deflector Shields and Omni Beams for War Machine. Does he have more? Oh yeah, he has a Stealth Field Generator too. He has a lot. And he also has U.S. Agent's Shield. And that's it. That's where we stopped. Okay. All right. Where's the ebony blade? There it is. So I just want to make sure I put these correctly. So there's a lot of equipment cards in there. So start using those if you haven't already, because DC is really going to focus in on the equipment of it all. I have been kind of in the same boat where I've never really used equipment cards. They weren't really part of how I liked to play, but I'm slowly but surely starting to integrate them into my games. Whenever I draw a character's name who has equipment, if I have already used that character normally, then I'll try them out with their equipment. Otherwise, if I haven't used the character before, I will just play them regularly, just good old vanilla 12 cards and then nothing else. And then the second time around, try them with equipment, because I want to get the feel for them first. More cards to look at here, more hero cards. Here is Darkstar, my favorite member of the Winter Guard. Her cards are so cool. And her costume is so cool. I love that. Look at that. When she flies in the animated series and just starts taking down Omega Red. Ah, glorious. All right, under her is Deathlock, who I have not used yet at all. Can't wait for his name to come up, because boy, in the 90s, his name came up so much. You couldn't throw a rock without hitting Deathlock. And Elsa Bloodstone, looking very different from she looks in the MCU, but that's okay. I like this version too. And fun fact, I'm pretty sure she was one of the characters I was using when I finally beat the Vulture for the first time. Pretty sure she was on the team. Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze. Think I've used them once. Just once. And it was a while ago, so I can't even remember what the experience was like. All right. Oh, and then we end with a little bit of Havoc X Factor for Meeple Monkey. There you go, buddy. Look at that jacket. That is a hell of a jacket. Yeah. All right. So let's put him back down there. Take a look here now. Just some more Havoc action. A very well-deserved, well-earned variant on a hero. Hepzibah, another Starjammer. She makes meowing noises when she talks because she's kind of more cat than human. She's fun. And under her is Husk, who was so much fun to play with. Introduced a totally new dynamic that I really hope they start to do more often. Or not, more often, but just throw in a couple more heroes like this who have these permanent effects that last until you play another skin card. That really made a difference. I have a feeling Beast Boy is going to be a bit like that. Maybe some other DC characters, but in the future, yeah, I'd love to see more. Iron Lad, who I used once or twice. 3 times a lady. There he is. Another King variant for everybody. Lilandra, who I have not used yet at all, but I was just rewatching X-Men 97, and she showed up in there. Always fun to see Lilandra, the Empress of the Shi'ar. Oh, what do we got here? We got M with her penance form, and I think I've used M. I'm pretty sure I've used M, but don't quote me on that. And Man-Thing, who was so much fun to see finally represented in United. Wow, that's it. That's how you represent Man-Thing in United, exactly like that. Thank you, Edouard Guiton. Another whole slew of heroes in here. And these cards are very cold because I keep them in my room next to the wall where the closet is. And the closet is freezing because it's underneath the porch. So anything that touches that wall automatically gets chilled as if it was inside a fridge. So these cards are quite cold to the touch, but that's okay as long as it doesn't damage anything. And I don't think that's the case. Nothing has been damaged by keeping them near that wall. Come on, Megan, work with me here. Okay, sorry, that took way longer than it should have because Megan's cards decided they didn't want to come out of their cold box. Okay, here we go. Here's Megan. She's got all kinds of different elemental powers. And I think I've used her once. Maybe. It's hard to remember who I've used without looking at my checklist. Moongirl and Devil Dinosaur I have definitely used, and they are a lot of fun, and I like their cards, and it's so colorful. Look at that. Aw, she's taking care of stuff, and the dinosaur is sleeping. I just learned, for the first time, that there was also a Moon Boy in Devil Dinosaur, but he's a much older Marvel character, and I prefer this. But he was a classic from, I think, back in the Timely Comics days, if I'm not mistaken. Moonstone. Now, I have not used her as a hero. I've only fought her as a villain. But great looking cards. Nice to have Captain Marvel's nemesis in here. Patriot, who I have not used yet. So many of the Young Avengers, just their names haven't come up for whatever reason. My random number generator does not like the Young Avengers. I don't know what to tell you. Great cards, though. Raza, the sword-slinging fella who is part of the Starjammer crew. And in the cartoon, he had a tiny wisp of a mustache, but that is no longer here. I guess the modern version likes to shave his facial hair. I mean, that's fine, I guess, but, you know, there's nothing wrong with facial hair, Raza. I don't know what your deal is. There's some more of Raza's cards. Very nice-looking cards. The Starjammers in general just have great, beautiful cards. Red Guardian, the David Harbour character, who is very loud and obnoxious. There he is. Cool. I think I've used him as a hero. A lot of the fights I've had have been short with some of these characters, so sometimes it's hard to remember that I've used them. Red Hulk, I have definitely used, and he was fun. More fun to play as than he was to fight, and that's not because the villain fight was bad, it's just because the villain fight I got destroyed really quickly. So glad he's in the game. Made me so happy. Siren I used on our St. Patrick's Day special video, which just aired earlier this month. Actually, very, very shortly, not too long ago. You can see that as well. If I remember, I'll put a link in the description. Songbird. Yes, in fact, fun fact, I used Songbird, and I ended up fighting Baron Zemo. He's the villain I drew. And who is one of Baron Zemo's henchmen? Songbird, back when she was called Screaming Mimi. And it's exactly this art. So I got to have Songbird fight Songbird. Man, that was special. And I'm looking forward to that happening more often. I'm looking forward to having, say, Jean Grey fight the Phoenix, because I don't think I've done that yet. Or Magic fighting Darkchild. You know, stuff like that. That's just going to be a lot of fun to play with. Catwoman fighting Catwoman. Guys, Catwoman goggles can fight Catwoman no goggles. There we go. That's how I'm spending 2026. Speed! He is a lot of fun. Very good cards, too. All right, after Speed is Stature, who I have not used, and I'm so excited to use her because her miniatures are so cool, but her name has not come up. All right. There's Stature. As we continue to breeze through these, here's Ursa Major. I think I have used him as a hero. I remember these wild, unpredictable cards, so I think I have. I was really looking forward to him just one of those characters that you never expect to see, but you're so happy to see. You know, like, thank you for giving us Ursa Major in a board game. U.S. Agent, very fun, very fast, very dangerous. They have pod racing on Malastare. Uh-oh, I'm turning into Qui-Gon Jinn. That happens to me a lot. Werewolf by Night, who I used once, and I loved it. The full moon aspect of it was a lot of fun. You really felt like you were playing as a werewolf. I hope they keep that up and give us the rest of the, what are they called? Don't tell me. Not Creature Commandos, because that's DC. The Monster... Oh, boy. People are going to kill me for this. The Encanto the Mummy is part of it, and Manphibian and Simon Garth. Something monsters. I don't know. And there's White Widow. She has gauntlets, because of course she does. And she's Florence Pugh. So she can assassinate me any day she wants, because it's Florence Pugh. I will allow it. All right, there are her cards. And that's the... Oh, no, that's not the last of the heroes. I lied. There's a few more. Actually, there's only one more in this box. And it's Wong, who I don't think I've used. And if I have, I used him for like 2 turns, and then we got destroyed by somebody. So there's Wong, who I was very excited to finally have as well. Just checking characters off my list, off my wish list. That's what Multiverse was all about. All right, and then we have the villain decks for Abomination. Okay, here we go. And I'm really going to breeze through these guys because we have minis to get to, and we do not want a 4-hour video. Maybe you do, I don't know. But Titania is there. Tell you what, I'll breeze conservatively, but feel free to speed me up if you want to just get to some of the better parts here. There's Absorbing Man's cards with the Titania card. And Chameleon, who was a lot of fun to fight. That was a really, really good battle system that they did with those Find the Chameleon tokens. Here is Crimson Dynamo's special thing that he's got there, and all of his threats and all of his master plan cards. Crimson Dynamo. That song, man. When I found out that Paul McCartney was a Marvel fan and he wrote about characters like Crimson Dynamo, ooh, that changed. I mean, I already respected Paul McCartney as a musician, but then that amped it up. All right, we've got more in here. This box is loaded, my friends. As you can already probably surmise, the amount of points we're going to give this thing will be no laughing matter. Here are all the head money cards, which are exactly all the same for Crossbones, the big bad Crossbones man, Captain America villain extraordinaire, and Dakin's cards now. Fought him a long time ago. I remember he duels you, but that's about all I remember. And he was tough. Here you go. Son of Wolverine. I would expect no less. These are Dark Avengers. Okay, so I had these wrong here. Yeah, these are the Dark Avengers cards. And I did fight these guys, but I lost pretty quickly. Yes, I remember getting those cards now. You choose 6 of these, and you leave 1 left over. So you might get lucky and end up with weaker ones, but then look at Sentry, he's got a lot of health. So you hopefully don't want to overload yourself. And I think I ended up with everybody except Bullseye or something. I don't know. I don't know why that fight really must have gone by really quickly for me to forget so much of it, because it was a good fight. Oh, there's one more Dark Avengers card. There we go. And then we have the cards for Darkchild, and she has Limbo Demons. They're trying to always get low and go underneath the bar. And then there are her Master Plan cards right there. And she is angry, hence all the leather. Only angry people wear leather in Marvel. Once you're happy, you opt for spandex. Scourge the Executioner, looking forward to fighting this guy and looking forward to fighting her. She's going to be totally different experience, I can tell. And just a classic Thor villain. One of the most classic ones. Here we go with the Cabal. And there's the Cabal's cards. I'm not going to look too closely at these because I really don't want to be spoiled. There is the Cabal. I think that's Norman Osborn in that Iron Patriot suit. And under that is Claw. And Claw's threat cards and his Master Plan cards. He doesn't look like Andy Serkis, but that's okay. We'll take it. And then Null, who's got cards for symbiote henchman behavior, like he has a whole rules reference card. He really is a whole different game entirely. Still plays by the United rules, but you know, they are their own thing. But yeah, he's got a rules reference card. He's got all of these threats, including symbiote henchman threats, which you have to deal with if he kills any of your heroes. Yes, that is a symbiote T-Rex. Very, very scary. But even though I was terrified the whole time, like I said, I managed to beat him 2 times. He is 0 for 2. And now watch, he got mad that I said that, and he's going to come after me next time his name comes up. And finally, we're down to the last deck of cards in here, I promise. And then it's mini time. Here we have the Lizard, and he's got his own mission card. He wants you to find the cure. Well, he doesn't want you to find it. Connors wants you to find the cure. The Lizard just wants the rampage. His threats cannot be removed by any means, and they're scary because there's alligators. So this classic Spider-Man villain gets a very thematic, fun battle, which makes me happy because Spider-Man villains are kind of my heart and soul. And this is Moonstone, and she has a special card for her gem. You flip it to this side if it's stolen, you flip it to that side if it's attached to her. And her BAM changes accordingly. And hey, there's Songbird as a henchman again. Wow. So she can really fight herself a lot. So can Venom. Can't play as Bullseye yet, but there we go. And that's Moonstone in a nutshell. She's scary. I wouldn't want to fight anybody who could deal with Captain Marvel. And the Purple Man. Here is the Purple Man. Now, his cards feel very stiff still, so I don't think I've shuffled them or played with them. I'm pretty sure Purple Man has never been played. Yeah. All right. And Red Hulk, who's looking for trouble. Oh, boy. Yeah, he has all the same threats there. A lot of these villains in Season 3 ended up with threats that are all just 6 of the same thing. Probably because The rules themselves got a lot more complicated, so the threats probably adapted to, you know, compensate for that. And here's Titania with her Absorbing Man challenge that you can add if you wish, which I have done because I fought her twice. So the first time I fought her normally, second time we added him as a bonus. And there she is. I don't know what the Hammer of Skirn is, but I don't want to be on the wrong side of it. That's all I know for sure. The jury. The jury is part of the threats for U.S. Agent. He has no master playing cards. He just has threat cards. And the jury are bad news. I remember them fighting Spider-Man. And the Widow Network. These are all threats for White Widow, who I was pleasantly surprised that they made her an anti-hero. She's just so heroic in the movies that I never thought of her in this way. But yeah, of course you would fight her. She's an assassin, and she does fight Hawkeye in the MCU, so it makes sense. The Winter Guard comes with a challenge, but it's a different challenge. It's one where you can fight them and then lead up to a bigger fight with Crimson Dynamo. So it's not the kind of challenge you can shuffle into your challenge deck, hence why the back of it looks different. So it's a mode-esque that we would probably give this 1 point. And here we have the Winter Guards deck of cards. I love villain teams, man. Whenever Marvel United does a villain team, it makes me so happy. And finally, the Wrecking Crew, who I'm not going to look at too closely because their cards are spoilers to me, and I don't want to know any of the surprises until I get them to the table. There they are, looking fierce. Love it. Oh, this card is a little bit bent. We got to be careful here. I don't know how that happened. I never even used these. Okay, so we got to take it easy. I think I know what might have brought that on because there's a tiny bit of overflow thanks to the sleeves. So we just want to be careful. Now it's time for miniatures, so we're going to scoot this over. There's a lot of miniatures in this box, everybody. And of course, if you're a miniature person, this might be what sways your vote and causes you to cough up however astronomical amounts of cash people are asking for this on the aftermarket. Let's go ahead. And this is Maximus the Mad. He doesn't look mad. He's smiling, but trust me, he's mad. And I have not fought him. Now, I have put this guy in the War of Kings box, hence why you didn't see any of his paraphernalia in here. But there's Maximus the Mad. Here is Crossbones. I like these things on his arm there. Those just, I don't know what shoots out of there. I'm assuming just chunky bullets. You never want to be caught on the business end of chunky bullets. And this is the first time I've really looked up close and personal at his face. And that Crossbones face is just terrifying. I don't want to see this guy running at me, especially if there's Frank Grillo underneath that mask. Frank Grillo's a scary, intimidating dude. Ooh, Captain America's braver than me. I'll tell you that right now. Here are the Wrecking Crew. There's Thunderball, only villain in this box named after a James Bond movie. Magnificent looking miniature. Can't wait to get this guy to the table. Ooh, that's going to be exciting. And this is Pile Driver, who's got the big fists. My least favorite member of the Wrecking Crew because he's just the least exciting. He's just a guy with fists. Everybody here is a guy with fists. You need a bigger thing than fists, Pile Driver. I'm sorry, please don't hurt me. Okay. After Pile Driver is the leader of the Wrecking Crew. I think his name is just Wrecker. I love his costume. That giant crowbar across his back. There's almost a nobility to him. These guys remind me of the Flash rogues, with how some of them can be noble, but most of the time they're just jerks. And Bulldozer.
Bulldozer. That's how I imagine him sounding.
He does look a lot like Master Blaster, though. They keep that collar around his neck probably for a reason. Probably a very violent man. And Claw. Here is Claw. Just a sharp, thin, to the point miniature, just like Claw himself. Very simple villain battle. Shocker, who I have not fought yet either, and I'm so excited. I can't wait to fight the Shocker. I put him in the Sinister Six box. Look at that. Look at that patchwork suit he's got. Psh. Oh boy. I'm used to the Jim Cummings Shocker voice where he's like, "This is why they call me." I can't do the Jim Cummings voice. Why am I even trying to do that? But yeah, that's exciting. Chameleon, one of the coolest minis in this box. We're not going by my favorite here because that would just be ridiculous. But normally we go my least favorite to my most favorite. And he would definitely be up there in this box for me because they really nailed Chameleon here. Oh, I love the bathrobe too. Why did the 90s have to stick him in that weird suit? High Evolutionary. I have not fought him either. He is not here. His stuff is in the Guardians of the Galaxy box because there was room and the Guardians fight him. So why not? Look at that. That's a great miniature. And next to him is Iron Patriot. Yep, there's Iron Patriot, who I haven't fought yet either. Got the Cabal going. He's standing on top of some kind of metal hatch. So if it opens, he's going to go flying. Not smart, Iron Patriot. Oh, look who we've got here. We've got Mole Man. I have his stuff in the Fantastic Four box, but he is a delightful addition here. And for the record, very tough battle. I've lost to him twice already because his monsters are redonkulous. I don't know how to take them down yet. It was very exciting knowing that we were going to get Mole Man. The Purple Man, not a villain I would have ever asked for, but I love his miniature. Look at that. He's just standing on tiles. He's got, I don't know if that's a wine bottle on the ground or something. He's operating a puppet. He's scary, man. Look at that. And I always forget that he was in the X-Men animated series for an episode and Cyclops had to fight him. Cyclops met a gorgeous lady who he used to know that she runs an orphanage. And Purple Man was trying to mess their stuff up. There's Enchantress. Can't wait to fight Enchantress. She's got some runes on this, like an old Asgardian piece of debris. And she's warding off people. She makes people fall in love with her, but she only loves Thor. And Thor doesn't care for her all that much. It's just one big old soap opera up there in Asgard. Here is the Lizard, who... It's strange that they made him stand on his tail like that. I still don't know how I feel about it, but I'm just so happy that we got the classic, and I'm going to go ahead and say it. I don't care if this makes me sound elitist. Correct looking lizard, as opposed to some of the more modern iterations that are just, they are not it. So I'm so happy that we got classic lizard that I don't even care that he's standing on his tail. In the cartoon, he teamed up with Spider-Man at the end to help him fight the Secret Wars. So I thought we were going to get a purple lizard, but I think that's the only time he was ever Spider-Man's ally. So I get it. I get it. He's mostly a villain. Speaking of people who are mostly villains, wow. It still makes me smile just to know he's like, oh, look, he's pointing at me. He's like, hey, you, I heard I'm your favorite. And I'm just like, oh, who, little old me? Oh, wow, look at that. That's excellent. The Hobgoblin was, oh boy, one of these days I have to just sit you guys down and tell you exactly what the 90s meant to me and what that cartoon meant to me and what he meant to me in it. He really just looks like he's laughing at me. I love that. Oh, I fought him once. Great fight, simple fight. I have him in the Maximum Carnage box, which is why you didn't see any of his stuff here. Crimson Dynamo. Giant base he's standing on. They went all out on his base. But yeah, that's great. He looks like a typical Iron Man villain, which it's so nice to finally start getting some of those in here. Because we have no Ironmonger, no Titanium Man, no Mandarin, obviously. So he might be the only Iron Man villain in here, maybe with the exception of MODOK. Yeah, we have MODOK too. Absorbing Man, can't wait to fight him. What a great miniature. Look at that, he's touching the bricks, so he's becoming the bricks. He's also got a Wrecking Ball. I should team him up with Thunderball and see what happens. He looks like a mean guy, though. Yeah, I wouldn't want to cross him. And he is dating her. He's dating Titania. She's got spikes on her, because of course she does. And man, I love this miniature so much. This is definitely in my top 5 miniatures of this whole box. Just because of how this just turns it into something special. Really, really does. Okay, look who it is. It's Null. And he's big. Very, very big. Compared to somebody normal like Purple Man. He towers over Purple Man. So I'm assuming this is how big Null is in relation to everybody. Like in the comics too, he's just a very large person with a very large sword and all this armor. The idea of this character is a bit too 90s extreme for me, but I get how it appeals to people. And I like the idea of learning more about the symbiotes, but I would also rather just have a bunch of different colored symbiotes than just have a guy who looks like Marilyn Manson leading them from a throne. I don't know. But he's a fun fight, even though it's a terrifying fight. Speaking of terrifying people carrying big swords, it's Gore the God Butcher, everybody. Applause. I fought him once now. He was difficult. I really lost heart to him. But his alien species reminds me of Saint Walker, so when DC comes, I'm going to have Saint Walker fight him, and I think I'll have better luck. All right, and he's got the Necro Sword, I think. That's what that's called. Maybe that's what Null has. I can't remember anymore. There's Blastar. I haven't fought him yet either, and he is located in the Annihilation box. And sorry, for the record, Gore is located in the Asgard box.
Okay, get out of here, man. This is my thing.
Oh, sorry, man. Okay. There we go. There's Blastar. And he's a big lion. And he's angry at the world. Why? I don't know. It's none of my business. I'm not going to go ask him. But he's angry. He's upset. And he's shaking his fist at the Fantastic Four. He's a Fantastic Four villain. And after him is Abomination, a Hulk villain. Maybe the Hulk villain, really. And it's so much fun seeing him. And I love his fights. I love it to pieces. It's one of the earliest multiverse fights I had, and it really feels like you're just up against a rampaging monster. The way he jumps around and smashes you and uppercuts you and throws you 3 locations away. He's so cool. All right, we have a hero now, and his name is Agent Venom, and he takes up a lot of space. This is a big miniature. It's a bigature. Hi, Agent Venom, nice to meet you. And he's got guns and weapons coming all out of his body. The idea of... Spiky, too. The idea of an Agent Venom doesn't interest me as much, but I'm glad he is in here for all the people who love that character. What's next? What's next? I'll tell you what's next. Deathlock is next. Hi, Deathlock. Look at that. Look at that puss. That's a puss only a mother could love. And he is brandishing what looks like an Uzi in this hand, and I don't even know what that is. Probably some kind of 90s gun that doesn't exist anymore. Oh boy, can't wait to try you out, Deathlock. Songbird, who unfortunately does not make the sound of Kenny G's Songbird when you play with her, but you could always play the song in the background. Or if you are a saxophone player, like physically play the song, that would be fun. What an amazing miniature that is. That's probably top 5 in this box too. What do we have here? We have Cypher, and he's very, very noble. Kind of a heavy one, too. Thanks to this, probably. And he's got his warlock stuff going on here on his arm. Almost looks like he's biting his sword, but he's not. And you probably noticed lots of sword action going on in this box. Captain Britain, Betsy Braddock. I have taken out her cards from here and put them in the blue team box so she can be with Psylocke, because I'm 90% sure she is Psylocke. Too bad her sword and shield are not made of the same stuff as these wings, because in the picture they are, but it's okay. She still looks pretty groovy. And I just noticed she's jumping off a column, which is very nice. And again, another sword. So many swords. All right, there's Aurora, my Canadian friend, and she's got like some kind of earthquake next to her. Maybe that's just snow. She's skidding through the snow. Great. Very basic miniature, but I like it. Captain America. There he is. That's so cool. Great flying effects on him. His wings are nice and chunky. Very, very sturdy construction of this guy. He looks ready. He looks ready to take on anything. Are you ready, Sam? Mm-hmm. On your left. Okay, he's ready. Yeah. Yeah, he's ready. Okay. Who is next? Oh, this is Husk, and she's pulling her skin off of her face. It looks painful, but I have a feeling it doesn't hurt her. So you can sleep easy, kids. She's standing near some rocks. Just the ingenuity of whoever comes up with these, like, how are we going to connect her to the base so she doesn't fall over? And just something as simple as rocks, right? Sometimes that's all it takes. She's really pulling her skin like taffy. That's great. Apologies to people who get irked when they see unpainted minis, but I actually really like these unpainted because they actually have color to them, unlike a lot of other games where it's just like, how about gray and different shade of gray? No, I like this. Red, purple, blue, give it to me all day, every day. And this is Megan. Is this Megan? Or is this M? I forget now. This is M. My bad. She's got nice hair, long, voluminous hair. She's posing like she just won something. Husk. Can't believe that they got this to work. This poor man. It's a very interesting looking character. And I think they nailed it in chibi form. I've never seen this character as any other kind of mini, but you know, you show that to somebody with no context about the game and they'll be like, oh yeah, that's Husk. So they did their job well. And here is Megan. That's Megan. And she's flying away on a wing and a prayer. She's pulling one of those. She looks great. Very dynamic miniature. Okay, we're coming up on some anti-heroes now, starting with Dakin. Those are some Edward Scissorhand kind of hands. I don't know how he eats bacon with those. I hope they can retract. And the old version had them on his elbows and stuff too. So this guy's not a happy camper. But I like this. I like the idea of this. He's got those swirls on his body. Very cool. Didn't know he existed, but I'm glad he does. Dark Child. Didn't know she existed either. I just knew about magic and that was it. I didn't know she had like 20 alter egos and Phoenix Forces and whatever. But here's Dark Child. Striding into the place like she owns it. There's a skull next to her. Whose skull is that? Let's pretend it belongs to Kang. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. Oh, there's another skull. That one belongs to Kang's friend Roy. And next to her is, who is this? It's US Agent. And I love this miniature. And I'll tell you why. There's just something about the solid feeling of this. There's just a car tire right here that's holding him in place. And it feels so solid and like you can feel every bump and ridge in the tread. This is just a great miniature. And then to top it all off, I really wanted to have him in the game and I really wanted him to be purple. So all of this visually, the fact that I'm finally holding it is music to my hands and eyes. Yeah, that's US Agent, baby. Red Guardian. He's fun too. His shield's kind of boring though, just a big star with nothing else. But I like it. Who's this? It's Moonstone. Is it Moonstone? No, I lied. It's White Widow. There's 3 svelte blondes coming up, so it's hard to differentiate them. But here we go. There's White Widow. She's standing on some kind of crack, some fissure in the earth. And she's ready to attack anybody who gets in her way because she's an assassin from the Red Room. Okay. And this guy I will definitely not confuse for anybody else. Ursa Major is a major beaut. So much fur on him and just a big chunky boy with claws and fur and teeth. Very heavy. And he's got broken bottles next to him too. Oh man, the Winter Guard. That's probably a bottle of vodka, I guess. And he's angry. I am Big Bear now. Here's another of my favorite minis in the box. This is Dark Star. She's got magic coming out of her that looks like treble clefs. So that makes me happy. She's purple and that fits like her color scheme kind of. And her powers are purple. I love this. I absolutely love this. Dark Star is great. And this right here is Moonstone because she's flying. She's got that design on her sternum there, that gold design. That's how you can tell. And she's got a domino mask. And she's causing some kind of ruckus on the earth when she lands because she's probably like Superman. She's probably heavier than she looks because of all her powers and strength. Yeah, Moonstone. She always looks like she's up to something. And finally, Purple Hulk. It is what it is. He's Purple Hulk. If I could paint, I would. But no, there he is. He's just purple from now on. At least they gave him the mustache. They had the decency to do what the movie wouldn't, and they gave him the mustache he deserves. And the last tray now. Here it is, Lilandra, Empress of the Shi'ar. She's got her big Shi'ar hat. The Shi'ar have very interesting heads. And she's got this crook that she's holding. It was nice and exciting to see her unlocked in the stretch goals. She's standing on some kind of Imperial seal. Underneath her is X Factor Havoc posing with that jacket. Because if I had a jacket like that and I was as handsome as Havoc, that's pretty much what I would do all day. Is I would stand on top of things and I would pose like this. Just all day, every day. Right, Havoc? Shh, don't talk to me, I'm posing. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. That's very, very cool. I haven't teamed him up with normal Havoc yet. Maybe I should. There's Chode with his harpoon gun and his big grin. Does he have his kiwi little bird with him? I don't think he's on this miniature. No, don't think so. But this is just a great figure. So big and bulky too. And hopefully season 4 will give us a Manphibian and then they can team up, because that would be a match made in heaven. And here is Raza, his friend, another guy holding a sword. And this is like an old-timey cutlass-looking sword, because Raza is a master swordsman. And he's got this cybernetic eye patch, which looks really cool, because they're pirates. They are space pirates at the end of the day, but they're the noble kind, hence the blue. Hepzibah! Hepzibah's got a tail. She's standing on lattice work. She's got a gun. And she meows when she speaks. Whenever the Starjammers show up on the X-Men cartoon, it's always a good time. And Corsair is doubling down. He's got a sword and a gun. He brought a gun to a knife fight and a knife to a gunfight. He's just prepared for anything, except dodgeballs. That's going to be his undoing. He's going to get a dodgeball right to the face. Cyborg Spider-Man. Have I used him yet? I don't think I have. And I put his cards in the Spider-Man box because there was plenty of room in there. So that's why you didn't see them here. You saw them way back in the Spider-Man video. Beautiful miniature, though. Just dynamic as hell. I don't think we've ever gotten a miniature so airborne as we do with him. It's great. Man-Thing. Hello, Man-Thing. You look terrific. You're adequately mossy and veiny, and you've got that snuffleupagus snout, and your eyes are pitted, and that'll look so cool when people paint them red. And I've already seen some shown off, and they're great. Man-Thing, buddy, when I team you up with Swamp Thing, that is going to be a match made in heaven too. It's going to be something to tell the grandkids about. Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze. Okay, we're coming up on another top 5 mini here. Look at him. The fact that we finally got this character, and not only did we finally get him, but we got him looking like this. This is everything a fan could dream of. Wow. I don't know that they could have done this any better. I really don't think they could have. It's a perfect Ghost Rider Johnny Blaze. That alone might almost be worth the price of admission for this box. Elsa Bloodstone ain't bad either, though. Look, she's standing on a monster that she killed, because that's what she does. She kills evil monsters. She's got a hell of a big rifle and a nice coat. And that's about it. Simple but effective miniature. Next to her is Wong, standing on the window from their house. I can't remember the name of their house. And he is just ready to rock and roll. He's got his fingers ready to do some spell casting. Yeah. I like that a lot. There's some marks on Wong's head, I just realized here. But, you know, that's not a huge issue. It's only because I'm looking at it through a magnified film camera here. When I look at it with my real eye, I can barely notice it's there. So that's fine. You also get Werewolf by Night in this box, which is a big deal. I just want as many characters as I can get my greedy little mitts on. So Werewolf by Night is a big deal. A lot of people liked him back in the 70s. So yeah, put him in Marvel United, please. Iron Lad, who I think came as a bonus character for when you pledged. So if you bought this on the aftermarket, you might have Iron Lad. It's kind of hit and miss, because if somebody had this and you bought it off them, They must have gotten Iron Lad, because I don't think you can get this without getting Iron Lad. But I don't know. He does come separately, and you have to put him in the box yourself. So maybe you might get unlucky and not end up with him. But he's a decent, solid mini. And so is Wiccan. Look at that. Look at Wiccan with that tattered cape. He looks incredible. And man, did they ever make him look perfect on the Agatha show when he finally gets into the costume. Whew, he is Wiccan 100%. Is he wearing his wedding ring? Wiccan, you're not wearing your wedding ring, dude. Hulkling's going to kill you. Or maybe he is, and I just can't get a clear image of it. Speed. The Keanu Reeves movie where the bus can't slow down. And also this guy. This big shockwave shooting out of him is a little bulky at first and takes some getting used to, but great mini. And it's awesome to have Vision and Scarlet Witch as kids. Once more, characters that you think, oh, it would be nice to have them, but you never actually expect that you're getting them. So when you do, it's a big deal. Here's Patriot playing some Patriot games with his unique looking shield. And I forget his real name, something Bradley. His grandfather's Isaiah. Can't remember who he is. But yeah, awesome. Kid Loki, I have not used him either. I put him in the Asgard box where he belongs. He's sitting on the Destroyer's head, though. So that's always fun. He's got his hands on his knees. He doesn't have a care in the world. Hopefully his cards are fun. Really haven't looked too closely at them. Black Knight. Another guy with a sword. Man, was that sword ever a surprise when I finally busted it out and used it. He's standing on a shield, too. Right at home in the medieval dungeon crawler, too. Take this into Arcadia Quest, and I don't think you'll have an issue. And finally, when it comes to the normal size ones anyway, there's Siren. Daddy's little girl with those banshee wings. And she had a great fight against Bullseye this past St. Patrick's Day. Awesome. I don't know who her mom is, but I'm going to guess it's Moira McTaggart, because Banshee and Moira kind of had a thing. Oh, hello, giant one. All right. So I'm sure you've already heard the stories, the tales, the legends of how magnificent these big chunky minis are. But just so you can see firsthand, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur are amazing. Like, these are so fun. And I love this. I love the idea that here's this game. Yes, there's plenty of games where it's like, oh, here's a dwarf, here's an elf, here's a wizard. But here's a girl riding a T-Rex, a red T-Rex. How could anybody not love this? I don't understand. She's full of so much life, pointing towards their next adventure. And Devil Dinosaur is just along. He's ready. He's along for whatever happens. Man, that's great. Heavy, but worth it. And speaking of heavy, but worth it, and speaking of legends, I give you... It's the shed! It's everybody's favorite shed that she is busting out of. She's taken that shed and just saying, nope, I got bigger problems. But now those bigger problems have a bigger me. And there's Stature, the daughter of Iron Man. Catherine Newton. I like her. She's a cool lady. And there she is. Can't wait to play as Stature. And yeah, people like to rail against the shed. I think it's cool. As Captain Carter would say, I think it works. And I like this. I like this a lot. What's she doing with her hand there? Oh, she's just kind of making a fist. I thought she was like rearing up to make a punch or something. Yeah, there she is. There is Stature in all her oversized glory. So, you have now seen everything this box has to offer. We need to tally up points now. That's going to take a while, so let's just forget about showing you closing the box, because you know the box can close. We're going to get right to it. We're going to add up everything this box has, and then compare it all for one final glorious chunk of math. Let's go. All right, inside this absolute mammoth of a box, we have the following. There are 59 regular miniatures inside this box. And then on top of that, there are 4 special miniatures. You get 2 oversized ones you get a couple more with some translucent effects. 32 of the characters in this box are heroes, and the box comes with 20 villains. Then there are 9 anti-heroes. So you can see all those points tally up right there. Just an indication of how big this number is going to be. Now, I should point out, I include not just red minis when I'm talking about villains. For example, Dark Avengers is a villain. That is a villain battle that you can go up against. So is Winter Guard. And the anti-heroes of Winter Guard don't have their own separate villains, but Dark Avengers balances it out. I did the math. I double-checked. I promise this is the right total. There are 20 villains in the box and 9 anti-heroes. That Winter Guard challenge where you can do that little thing where you face them and then you face Crimson Dynamo, and we give that just 1 little point because it's a nice little bonus thingy they added. And finally, there are equipment cards in here, so that's worth 1 extra point for a grand total of 168 unfathomable points. Wowzers. And yes, those 32 heroes do include Iron Lad, because for all intents and purposes, he should come in this box every time. That's a very, very big number. Is it the biggest number? I think we can all agree that it is. But for reference sake, it's time to look at all those numbers together. Now, I know every time I've done this, I've made some kind of computational mistake, and the people in the comments have very nicely pointed them out to me, so thank you for that. Math is not my thing, but I did my best here, and I think I have gotten every point value correct for once. So, at long last, here is a giant comparison list of all the boxes, all the points of worthiness you get out of them, and a final look at which ones are right for you. All right, to save time here, we've just got these handy dandy lists, and here they are. The lowest box we're going to start with is Fin Fang Foom, who is only worth 5.5 points. Coming in at 7 points is Pet Companions. Not bad for a little box of animals. Deadpool's retail version is next, coming in at 12.5 points. Then you've got worth 13 points each, Rise of the Black Panther, The Horsemen of Apocalypse, Enter the Spider-Verse, and Guardians of the Galaxy Remix. Now, those Spider and Remix ones, those are only the retail versions because those ones don't come with Spider-Ham or Gamora. At 14 points is the X-Force box. Just sitting here all by itself at 14. At 14.5, you have the Kickstarter exclusive Deadpool box. This is the one that's going to net you a nice, cool Lady Deadpool. Speaking of nice and cool, a nice, cool 15 points is what you will get with the Kickstarter versions of Tales of Asgard, Enter the Spider-Verse, and Guardians of the Galaxy Remix, because those boxes come with Beta Ray Bill, Spider-Ham, and Gamora, respectively. Also worth 15 points is Days of Future Past and Annihilation. So a lot of the expansions seem to hover at around 15 across all 3 seasons. Then we go up some more to 16. We have the retail version of Blue Team, that is Sans Banshee, unfortunately. And The Witching Hour is worth 16 points. 16.5 points is what First Class will get you. And then 17 points is the retail version of Gold Team. This one does not come with Forge. Coming in at 18 points is the Kickstarter version of Blue Team. This one does have Banshee, as well as the retail version of World War Hulk. Okay, you are not getting Doc Samson in this particular box. At 19 is Gold Team's Kickstarter box, which does come with Forge. And then at a cool even 20 points, you have the Revenge of the Sinister Six box and the Phoenix 5 expansion. Can't believe Phoenix 5 ended up being that good. And the next part of the list now, at 20.5 points, is the Kickstarter version of World War Hulk with Doc Samson's lovely long emerald locks. At 21 points is the Infinity Gauntlet and Secret Invasion. Another box that I couldn't believe ended up being worth so much goodness. Secret Invasion is right up there with Infinity Gauntlet. How about that? Age of Apocalypse is worth 22 points, one step above. Then we jump up a bit more to 24 points, where you will find Fantastic Four, an absolutely cracking good expansion, and the Maximum Carnage retail copy. The only difference in this one is you do not get the Sinister Six assembled modules. So you still get all the characters, which is nice. At 25 points is War of Kings and The Coming of Galactus. 2 boxes absolutely chock full of stuff. At 26 points is the Kickstarter Maximum Carnage box, which gets you that Sinister Six assembled mode. And our highest scoring expansion box of all, Civil War, the retail version. This one is missing 2 hero characters. It's missing Iron Spider and Hulkling. But there's still 8 heroes in here to choose from, plus all the goodies that the box comes with. It's an excellent expansion. One I never would have asked for, but one that I'm so grateful to have. After that, at 30 points, is the United Core box, the Season 1 United Core, followed by a Civil War, the Kickstarter version. This is worth 31 points, and this one nabs you that Hulkling and Iron Spider we talked about. Then bumping up some more to 35 points is the X-Men Core box and the Multiverse Core box. Both awesome core boxes. At 36, though, you get the Spider-Geddon Core box, and the only reason this one trumps the X-Men Core is because it has equipment cards in it, whereas X-Men did not. So it got that one little extra point for having equipment cards. Then all the way up to 103 points. That's where you're going to find the United Stretch Goals. A beefy, beautiful box full of beefy, beautiful people. I'm looking at you, She-Hulk. After that is the X-Men Stretch Goals box, which is worth a whopping 143 points. Yowza. And finally, to top it all off, at 168 points of worthiness, the box for Multiverse Stretch Goals. And that is the complete Marvel United rundown with every version of every box you could possibly find somewhere out there in the world. My friends, we have reached the Marianas Trench of the deep dives. This is it. We can go no deeper. I mean, there's no words. Thank you for joining me on this incredible odyssey. Of course, there will be deep dives in the future when a certain DC Superheroes United comes out. Technically, I know GameFound has shown us a lot of pretty much what's in every box. So I could technically do the deep dives now. I don't know, but I feel weird doing it without actually showing you the physical stuff in my hands. So I think I'm going to hold out, and that gives us something to look forward to on top of when those boxes arrive. Or maybe I'll do them in the interim while we wait to help make the wait go by faster. Tell you what, I will let you guys decide which you would rather see. Do you want me to wait until I have all the stuff in my hands to deep dive? Or do you want me to just try my luck now with what GameFound tells us and have some fun while we wait? Either way, I am good. Let me know in the comments below. But I have a special surprise for everybody. Next week, same time, same place, I have something to show you that I've wanted to show you for a long time. So stay tuned for that. It's a deep dive, but not what you think. Anyway, that'll do it for now, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in here on Digital Charcuterie as we continue to make the wait for DC Superheroes United a little bit shorter and a whole lot sweeter. See you next time.